Injury front, I don't have all the updates just yet. Still working through some things. I can tell you Wyatt Teller has a knee injury. He'll miss multiple weeks, but I don't have the full extent just yet. Miles Garrett with his foot injury is day to day. And like I mentioned, on all those other ones, I'll update you when we get those all the information. Obviously frustrated, disappointed as you watch the tape. Just I think there are missed opportunities, certain things that we just have to do in order to win in this league, and we didn't do them. So disappointed. We'll learn from it, and then we'll quickly move on. With that, I'll take any questions.
All right, first question will go to Daryl.
Yeah, Kevin, I want to ask you about the offensive line. If I've done the math right, I think it's 16 sacks and 42 QB hits through 3 games. Just from your perspective, setting aside the injury situation, what is going up or going on, I should say, up front with the protection issues?
Yeah, obviously that's disappointing. We have to be better there, and we will be better.
And then defensively, how did you like how they responded in the second half, even with Miles being hobbled, and I realize people are dealing with injuries, but that can't be easy when your best player isn't able to give you 100% of the plays.
Yeah, I thought the team battled yesterday. Certainly, the defense we played well there in that second half. We have a high standard ultimately, and we want to play better. But the guys definitely were battling out there.
All right, next we'll go to Tony.
Two things, Kevin. Number one is even before the injuries hit the offensive line, your game plan did not involve the jumbo formations that you used in Jacksonville. Was that because of the opponent, the game plan, or was it because of the circumstances where you thought you might be thin at offensive line?
Yeah, I think all of the above, Tony. I think when you go into game plans, you're trying to look at things that give you an advantage, maybe attack certain things that they do, maybe defensively. Just with the health of some of our offensive line, it probably wasn't possible to get some of those guys in those roles, but doesn't mean that there's plenty of things that we can do better, certainly.
And the other thing was the quarterback sneak situation. It seems you're hesitant to use Watson on a traditional quarterback sneak. You were shotgun and 4th and 1. How does that handicap you as the play caller that you have to bring in another quarterback to perform a sneak?
Yeah, I don't see it that way at all. I think you see that from around the league. Different teams do that. We've used different players in there. There's a bunch of things that you can do in those moments. Obviously, I got to do a better job for this team in those moments, and we have to do a better job and give those guys some plays to go get the first down there.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, just wondering, do you feel like in some ways you dodged a bullet a little bit with Miles Garrett being day to day? And then also, do you feel like maybe is Zach Zinter ready to step up into that guard role for you?
Yeah, certainly with Miles, as you guys know, he's battling every day. So feel that he's going to continue to do that. And then we'll work through the offensive line, Mary Kay. It's definitely something that's going to be, we'll take in more information today, tomorrow, Wednesday, before we know exactly how that's going to shake out.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Kevin. With Miles, you said he was going to have an MRI today. Did he have one?
Yes.
He said yesterday that it was all like his whole lower leg. So do you know what he had the MRI on and like what you guys are treating primarily?
Yeah, I wouldn't get into all the specifics, Scott. He's battling.
Okay. And then with Jed coming off the surgery and Dewan, not 100% with that knee, why not keep a ninth lineman active yesterday?
Yeah, felt pretty comfortable with the guys that we had. That was, losing Wyatt on field goal. That those are tough. Those are just some circumstances that you don't often see. But bottom line is we felt comfortable with having 8 up.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Jeff.
Kevin, I'm going to ask you about third down. It's been an issue each of the first 3 games. So do you see a constant problem, or what can be done to fix that?
Yeah, I think it's we have to be better there, Jeff, and I think a lot of that you can be better on first and second down to help yourself on third down. I don't think we've been good enough on first and second down. Been in some tough down and distances, or in that case, distances on third down. So that's just a matter of playing better as an offense. But there's always things that we're looking at to try to give our guys a chance.
All
Thank
right,
you.
next we go to Daniel.
Hey Kevin, I had a twofold injury question. With Wyatt, is he possible IR candidate? And with Miles, I know you said he's going to continue to battle, but just given the fact that he said that both his feet are bothering him, it's creating compounding issues. Is there a point or a conversation that needs to be had about kind of shutting him down and allowing whatever he's dealing with to heal properly so he can be good for the long term?
Uh, yeah, first part of your question, what was remind me?
Is
Wyatt
Wyatt
Teller.
is he an IR candidate? Is that a possibility?
Yes, we're working through that. That's a possibility. With Miles, he's like a lot of our guys on this team. He's going to battle through these injuries, and I expect him to continue to get better.
Thank you.
All right, next we go to Ashley.
Hey, Kevin, yesterday when we talked to Deshaun, he mentioned something to the effect of them maybe switching things up with the blitzes. Like, what was there different looks that you guys maybe weren't expecting, or what was going on there with what the Giants threw at you?
I think early in the season, we're only 3 games yesterday into these things, so breaking tendencies is a big part of as you get to know offenses and defenses when you're game planning. So they definitely pressured more than they had in the first couple. But that was pretty apparent early that was their game plan. So you're always trying to figure out in these games what teams are going to lean into, whether it's going to be more coverage, more pressure, whatever it may be. There's looks that you often see that you don't game plan for, especially early in the season, and then you just have to make the adjustment in game.
And then how do you think Denzel came out of yesterday with the shoulder and everything?
Yeah, I think he's good.
Thanks.
All right, and looks like our last one from Scott.
Hey, Kevin, what did you see on that, the 4th-and-1, after Jameis got stuffed on 3rd-and-1? What did you see on that 4th-and-1 play?
Yeah, we tried to play. We tried earlier in the game. Obviously, we can be better, but I know it's very easy for all of us to say, "Hey, throw it here." This is that's a tough job that those guys have, and I thought Deshaun made a bunch of plays for us, was putting us in position to try and go make a play to win the game. So there's going to be plays that he wants back. I know there's plays I want back, but I think it's really easy to play that game of could have done this, would have done that. We all have to be better.
And what do you think about David Njoku for this week?
We'll see. I'll know more probably Wednesday.
All right. Thanks.
All right, and looks like we have a few more hand raisers now, so we'll go to Daniel first, do a few more.
Yeah, hey Kevin. I know again, like so much goes into quarterback play, protection and play calling and whatnot. But when you review the film and watch Deshaun, in structure, is the feel and kind of the speed of the processing what it needs to be. He himself said that he's missed some throws, but when you see him kind of working in structure in those drop back situations, is the feel and the processing and the timing kind of what it needs to be, and if not, what needs to improve there.
Yeah. I think he sees the field really well. I think he, as a veteran that's played in a bunch of games, so understands different looks, sees it before we even talk about it on the sideline as he's coming off. So I think it is certainly we have to play better as an offense. That's really our main focus.
Thank you.
All right, next one to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, this is probably very similar to Daniel's question that he just asked, but there's a lot of talk about the sacks, 8 sacks, 17 hits. How much do you attribute that to the protection, and how much of that goes on to Deshaun?
We kind of talked about this, I think, before, Mary Kay. I think when you're talking about protection, it's everybody. It's from myself, the coaches, the offensive line, tight ends, running backs, wide receivers, quarterbacks. It's everybody. And it's everybody has a job to do in order to keep the quarterback clean. So I got to do my part. It's no secret. We can't let him get hit that many times. That's not good enough. And that will get fixed.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Tom.
Jordan, thanks. Coach, along the lines of what Daniel and Mary Kay asked in terms of pocket and trying to find kind of an offensive identity here, how challenging has this been? I know it's early in the season. You've got Deshaun coming back off the injury, et cetera. You've got offensive line issues now. How hard has it been to kind of figure out what it is exactly you want to do with all this other stuff going on?
Yeah, I understand the question, Tom, but I think it's all part of it. Honestly, I think that's the NFL for you. Week to week, certain guys are going to be unavailable, or you're going to go up against a different rusher than you saw the week before. So that's our job, just to find ways to be efficient, find ways to be explosive, regardless of the challenges that you may have.
Thank you.
All right, last two. First one from Tony.
Defensive question, Kevin. I know you trust all your cornerbacks, but when it comes to Malik Neighbors yesterday, was Jim Schwartz just not your right and left corner? You're not going to shadow at any point, or was that a consideration at all?
Those are all things we talk about both during the weekend and in the game. There are certain times that we've done that. There's certain times that we have various reasons to play right and left. So it's always by game plan, and it's really week to week.
And so the game plan yesterday was right and left, pretty much.
Yeah, and we mixed it in.
Thank you.
All right, last one from Jeff.
Kevin, I want to ask you about that roughing call. When you watch it on, it's a two-part question. When you watch it on tape, was it the right call?
Yeah, I think it was. And we have to be better there. Greg knows that. You can't go up near the quarterback's head and neck area. We got to stay in that strike zone. That's a tough play because that's, as you guys know, that's a turnover right there. So we will be better. And again, not a lack of effort at all, but I did think that was a roughing call.
All right, that's it then. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, guys.